Tonight, guys, we're going to cook a chicken stew. I've got a chicken boiling, and I've got some ingredients here. I'm going to show you how we do it. So we've got a whole chicken that we're boiling right now, and I've got 6 to 8 potatoes. I've got some cream corn from the garden we're going to use, and then substitute with a can if we need it. We've got some canned stewed tomatoes that we had out of the garden. I've got 2 onions. So we're going to peel the potatoes. They're going to go in next. As soon as the chicken's done, we'll take it out and then we'll put the potatoes in. So we have our chicken broth, and we have diced up our onions, and we've halved our potatoes. And so we're going to put our potatoes in, and what we're going to do is we're going to let those cook until they're tender enough to smash up. Then we'll smash them up in the stew, and then we'll add our onions. So you're going to go through your chicken broth once your potatoes get tender, and you're going to smash your potatoes to little bits. And once you're sure everything is smashed to little bits, then we're going to add our onions, and then start deboning our chicken and get our chicken ready to put back in here. And we do this because my wife likes her stew to be real fine and silky smooth and not real big and chunky.
I want it to be like a soup, but not a stew.
Yeah, she says she wants it to be more like a soup and not a chunky campfire stew. And so I used about an onion and a half. We've got a little extra chicken, and this is a big pot, so I did add about a half of an onion. So that's an onion and a half. Normally we would just do 1 onion, but if you like a real oniony taste, you can add extra. Then we'll let this cook until our onions are tender. Then we'll debone our chicken and add our chicken. Alright, guys, we got our onions are looking tender. Our potatoes are done. We got our chicken deboned. I ran it through a food processor, and so we're going to go ahead and put that in there now. And my grandmother always said you want to wait until your potatoes are done, because when you add your tomatoes, it'll stop your potatoes from cooking. So we know our potatoes are done, and so I'm gonna go ahead and add our tomatoes and our tomato paste, and we will let that cook for about 30 minutes, and then we'll add our corn. When you add your corn, you have to kind of try not to let it stick, because your corn has some sugar in it, and it'll stick once you start adding your corn. So I went ahead and ran my tomatoes through the food processor just so there's no big chunks in there. I need you. Roast up and fork. I figured you were going to do something like that. Starting to smell like a stew now, or a soup. And so this has been cooking. We're going to go ahead and add our corn. I'm going to add 1 can of whole kernel corn, and I'm going to add this bag of cream corn from a year ago because it needs to be used up. So we're going to add all this. You want to stir it occasionally, and then we'll see you in a little bit. It is 9:42 and we've been cooking this, including boiling the chicken, since about 5 o'clock. It's not a quick dinner. It's a little bit soupier than I'd like. Normally you want it to be thick, but it's got a pretty good consistency right now. And you can kind of see that it's not real chunky. Everything is about the same size, so it's got a real smooth, silky texture. Not too tomatoey. Courtney doesn't like it real tomatoey, so I think it's got about the right amount of corn, right amount of chicken. I'm about to go to bed. I'm going to just take this off of the heat for tonight, and then we'll eat it again tomorrow. Tomorrow, before we eat this, the secret to good chicken stew is you take a stick of butter in a pot this size and let it melt, stir it in, and then it's ready to eat. If you want to thicken it up, another trick, if you want it to be a little bit thicker, you can add macaroni, or you can add instant potatoes, and that'll thicken it up a little bit faster without trying to cook all the broth out of it. We don't like macaroni in ours, so we're not going to put macaroni in it, but that's an option. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you got a new recipe, and like, subscribe, share with all your friends. Have a good night.